San Diego 6 News in the morning. Your station for balanced news.
Well, just when we thought things were getting better, a report released last week says that foreclosure filings are now up 32% from this same time last year. So what does this news mean, and how bad could it really get? To answer these questions for us, we welcome Matt Battiata of the Battiata Real Estate Group to our show this morning. Thanks for coming in, Matt. Great to have you, as always. Unfortunately, this news... not great, and a little startling.
How bad
I know.
Really
I'm
get?
really putting you on the spot now, huh? Why are we all of a sudden seeing this surge? Let's start there and kind of spell it out for people. We thought things were getting better. We thought this recession was going to be over. What's going on?
Well, the government has sort of mandated that the banks attempt to do loan modifications to help people avoid foreclosure. That's part of the deal with them getting TARP money, the bailout money. I was in Washington, as you remember, back in January trying to lobby our representatives to get them to do something that would have an impact. The problem is that this is voluntary for the banks to participate, and so the banks are going through the motions to do loan modifications, but the reality is, number one, the number of people that actually qualify for a loan modification is really narrow. Most people either make too much money, so the bank says you don't need a loan mod, or they say you don't make enough money, so even if we do a loan mod, you can't afford it anyway. So it's a very narrow sliver of people that qualify for a loan mod. And even for those people who do qualify, and it takes them 6 months to a year to get the process done with the bank, what the bank comes back with is such a minor reduction in their payment that the majority of the people say, well, that's not going to work for me anyway. So the banks are not reducing people's principal, for example. They're just slightly reducing their payment in some cases. Most people don't qualify.
So you
and that's causing the big problem.
It's like a Band-Aid. They just covered it up for
well, all those people, right? After they spend a year trying to do a loan mod or 6 months trying to do a loan mod, are stuck in the same situation. So they then either need to do a short sale, which is the better option, or unfortunately their homes go to foreclosure. So there's a huge number, unfortunately, of foreclosures that are still coming down the pike.
We saw these moratoriums go into play. There was one for the entire country and then one for the state of California.
There's a couple in
Did
California.
These help? Did these do anything for us?
You know, the idea is that the idea of a moratorium is that it gives the banks time to help people work out their loans and modify their loans so that they can stay in their homes. The reality is the banks really don't want to do loan modifications. So it's a great idea, but in effect, because the banks are really not doing loan mods, in effect what's happening is it's just causing a big bottleneck in the system, and then we get
a floodgate
tons of foreclosures. Exactly, and that's what keeps happening. This moratorium is up September 15th. There'll be a huge wave of foreclosures.
Okay, 1 in every 355 U.S. households now filing for foreclosure. What does this mean? This is scary stuff.
Probably higher in San Diego.
Yeah, because we're one of the second areas.
Well, our market's down almost 50%. So what it means for people really is that if you can't afford your home anymore, if you're upside down, which a lot of people are, and you can't afford your payments, and in most cases your bank will not do anything meaningful as far as reducing your payments. Don't wait till the last minute. You can do a short sale. You can save your credit. You can avoid a foreclosure, which helps the market. Obviously, is much better on the person's credit, and financially, you can get out of the debt and walk away. And that is the only answer to fix this crisis, is for people to do short sales and avoid foreclosure.
All right.
Because the banks right now, unfortunately, and they haven't been doing them for the last 3 years, they're basically not willing to do loan modifications.
So the question we've been asking really for like the last 3 years, and I'm going to ask it again, when are we going to hit bottom then? Because it just seems every 6 months we see a new report that says, it's getting worse again. So when's bottom?
We're relatively close, but we're certainly not at the bottom. But if you're a buyer and you want to buy, the reality is San Diego's gotten much more affordable. Interest rates are very, very low. When the market does turn around, interest rates, I expect, are going to go up with the market. So, if you want to buy a home, you're not buying it to flip it. You see something you like, buy it. It's a great time to buy it. Anybody that wants a roof over their head and doesn't want to be a renter, it's a great time to buy. If you want to buy something to flip it and make a profit, not so much.
Yeah. We saw kind of this spiral effect at the end of 2008. Are we going to see something like that again here in 2009 into 2010? Is it going to be worse? What are we going to see?
What do you mean
as far as a lot of foreclosures and
foreclosures are going to be around till 2012 or 13.
Oh, wow.
And short sales are going to be around even longer, because if you think our market was here, it's dropped dramatically. Anybody that needs to sell, they get job transfer, they lose their job, they can't make their payments, whatever. prices have to get all the way back up to where they were in 05-06 because a lot of people bought at that time and a lot of people refied and pulled cash out. So it's going to be a reality of the market, and short sales are frustrating, but they're the only thing that's going to save this market. Because the worst possible thing to happen is all these foreclosures, which are unnecessary if people are just proactive and get their options.
Get it taken down. All right. All right, Matt Battietta, lots of good advice. He's been in this market for a while. If you have any questions for him, you can go to our website right now, get some more information on how to contact him. Thanks so much. Just click on Hot Topics, by the way.